You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! Why did I move here? I guess it was the weather. And welcome to Podcast PXN episode 216. I am one of your hosts, the independent video essayist on hiatus from Portland, Oregon, Christian Macias, and I'm joined over Discord by Kentucky's #1 Spartan and PXN founder, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM.
You're welcome for that extra let's go from Gage that said that right as I switched scenes.
Let's go. Roshan, not here today. We are missing him dearly. He will return, though, Avenger style. Instead, we have one half of the Men Engage, not instead, he's here also pretty regularly. One half of the Men Engage podcast, Battlefield's bad boy, the Tarkov Telltale himself, Gage Dempster.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Folks, thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Just search Podcast PXN. Simultaneously also over at twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. Housekeeping, I'll be gone next week. I'm just reminding Dan right now. But also the pod, I guess. I'll be gone. I will be in New York then. I'll be post half marathon race. Why are you winking?
I don't know. It's an inside joke.
I'll get inside your joke. The topic of the show this week is...
I thought that was going somewhere else.
Topic of the show this week is Grand Theft Auto 6. It's finally real. We got the full scoop exclusive. No, we don't. But we'll discuss in topic of the show. But first, the show always starts with the quick bites. Let's go ahead and jump right in. All right. First on the agenda. First party ads on the Xbox dashboard. Now, these have been around for a while. You boot up the Xbox and you'll get a little, advertisement for a game that's released from Xbox Studios, maybe a Halo game. But now that Microsoft owns Activision, games that were previously third parties are now first parties, and so a Call of Duty ad appeared when you booted up Xboxes last week, and a lot of people were not happy about this. Some may argue that it doesn't take very much time to just scroll a little bit over and just hit exit. Others are saying, well, we're being advertised pretty much all the time in our lives. When I want to escape and just play video games, why is there another ad?
Has this been happening? I remember this happening with Starfield, and that's the only time I could remember it happening with getting a full screen splash.
Yeah, Starfield and Forza Motorsport, I think, were the first two to do it.
So this is fairly recent. This is not something that has been happening for years and years and years. So I'm not a fan of this. I'd like it to stop, please. Stop it.
And I'm betting it will not stop because
it will not stop.
Yeah, I bet you that click-through rate of people seeing this pop up for especially Call of Duty, which is one of the biggest properties out there, is probably pretty high. I would bet for the casual audience. Like, many of them probably know it's coming out, but maybe for the person who's logging in or whatever to play Warzone, they're like, "Oh, I forgot this is coming out," and they click on it. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't really get extra sales, but I don't know.
I'm kind of weird because movie-wise, David Fincher has a new movie that just came out called The Killer. The Netflix movie, unfortunately, like many Netflix movies that are released theatrically, have very limited release. Netflix does a horrible job promoting them on social media. However, when you booted up the Netflix app, you got a splash screen next to your profiles with a poster of the movie, The Killer, and a countdown on when it was going to release on the actual Netflix platform. And that was kind of interesting because they're having some promotion of a pretty big movie on their site when you're logging in, and that's going to lead to more people checking out the movie. Granted, that's different, right? Game-wise, though, why does it feel like this is kind of intrusive in a way? Go ahead.
I think what it is, because as you're talking about Netflix, I kind of clicked. Netflix is just a platform, whereas with the Series X, I think the reason it feels intrusive is because you buy the hardware also, right? Like, sure. Yes, Xbox is a digital platform, but also, like, for somebody like me up in Canada, I paid like $750 for this thing. I don't want this fucking advertisement popping in my head. But it is similar, right? Like you're saying, like, as a platform, the principle is very similar. Like, hey, this is a new thing coming to our platform. We want to let you know about it. In Netflix, it doesn't feel intrusive, but I guess it's because that's just purely a subscription service that I'm opting into. Whereas with the console, even though that it does have that shared DNA, at the same time, it's a piece of hardware that I bought with my own money.
Right.
So it does feel like a bit like, the equivalent of having a PC and turning on your desktop and something pops up. It's like, hey, I don't want this. What's going on?
Okay.
That's next gauge. They're gonna change your Windows background to be Modern Warfare 3.
Oh,
Everything is Call of Duty, including the Vegas Sphere.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. HBO says The Last of Us Season 2 is coming 2025. It's a long ways away, and that's even if, the strike is resolved. I know that we're aiming to do some shooting here in 2024, obviously, to get this going, but it seems like it's going to be definitely a ways away.
Yeah, looks like this strike is not ending soon. It's wild. Oh my god. If you've been following that, it's absolutely wild what the studios are demanding.
Almost ridiculous.
Didn't we just have a Black Mirror episode about this? Didn't we literally just have a Black Mirror episode about this? Joan is awful. This is like we're actually in parody world. I mean, we started entering parody world with Trump in 2016, but it just keeps going apparently.
Keeps going. You know what else keeps going? Development on IO's 007 game. Recently got some news that IO Interactive's 007 game is going to be similar in tone to the Daniel Craig Bond films rather than the Roger Moore movies, and perhaps a more scripted experience than Hitman's freeform jaunts. Very exciting. I think having like a good mix of action, adventure, spy elements as opposed to kind of like this open world kind of slower Hitman. I think it's going to work for a little bit more on the rails, and we saw that with the last mission of the previous Hitman game.
Yes, I like most of this. I'm a little bit worried though because somewhere in there they mentioned that it's gonna be less lethal than Hitman, whereas I was kind of, when I think of every James Bond movie, it seems like in Hitman's supposed to be less lethal than James Bond, I think, because Hitman's supposed to only go after the guy he's going for, whereas in James Bond, if you watch any movie, he's taking out guards left, right, and center. So when I saw them say that, it made me a little bit upset because I was kind of hoping for a slightly more action-oriented Hitman. So if it is going to be, I don't know. That made me a little bit worried, but I'm still super hyped. Let them cook. IO's been killing it the last decade, so I'm very excited.
You ever think about how Nathan Drake kills more people than Hitman?
Nathan Drake kills more
Agent
people
47?
than Ted Bundy. Like, what are you talking about?
That's true. That's true.
What about Spider-Man in the symbiote suit? How many people did he kill?
Spider-Man just period. You do any kind of finisher.
I was gonna say I swing kick people off of buildings all day long, baby.
Yeah, but
Spider-Man's
they web
body
up.
count has been rocked up.
They web them up.
No, they get webbed to buildings.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do. Depends though. If
All
you
the
watch
time.
it, depends.
All the time.
No, if it's just high enough that doesn't kick in, you can.
That's true.
My
I've
Spider-Man
seen that
has
one.
killed people. Has ended lives.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of finishers where they're getting kicked like in the throat, and it's like they're not surviving that. This is a superhuman.
Or like sometimes you do like that wall kick, but it's against the burning tanker when you're doing those side missions, and it's like that this person is no longer with us.
Yeah. Oh man. Video games, baby.
Let's get back to the EA era of Bond games, like the early EA era. Those were good.
Those were good. Those were fun.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I forgot we were talking about Bond at all.
No, yeah. Genki, get back on topic.
Yeah, stop. Here's an interesting one concerning Xbox. Microsoft employees will soon be losing access to Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions. I think, however, I saw that Phil Spencer became aware of this and is going to be looking into it so as to avoid any employees losing. Yeah. Okay. Did I miss that?
He already did, and he already, literally hours after, I think he axed it and it went back to normal. So apparently he just didn't know that this was a thing. Yeah.
Allegedly. This also could be an Uno reverse. Let's be real.
They're saying that it was an HR thing, that it was like a benefit from HR that was added because this is not Xbox employees. Xbox employees were not affected. It is only like corporate, if you work
like
on the
Microsoft?
Windows, if you work on the Windows team or something, it was only those people. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Xbox people were not affected.
Okay, Phil, you have this one.
That's
safe.
crazy. Any Microsoft employee gets
Yes.
Xbox Game Pass Ultimate?
Correct. And that's what he just defended, basically.
Why don't you defend my lips with yours? We'll just move on. Brian Intihar of Insomniac Games teases Daredevil yet again. Recently at a Spider-Man 2, the game, soundtrack listening party streamed by Insomniac, Brian Intihar is heard saying, "Where is Daredevil?" as the stream ends. Later, in a kind of funny games interview, Intihar said that these characters are all in 1048, referring to the revision of the Marvel Universe that the Insomniac Marvel shares. And then asked why Wolverine didn't appear in a cameo in the game or as a reference. Intihar said there was a decision not to do it. I think for us, we wanted to let that team cook. And who knows what the future holds. But right now, let's let them do their thing. But yeah, apparently he keeps also referring to Daredevil. Nelson and Murdoch also making an appearance building-wise.
This is the ICU, Insomniac Cinematic Universe. It's on the way.
And you know what? And I think I've seen enough.
I'm right there with you, brother.
And
Yeah,
you
let
know
them do
what?
their own thing. I don't want them to
I'm
be all like. Do we know where Wolverine is set, location-wise?
Yes. At least rumored. I think it's I forget the name of this. It's a fictional Marvel city that's similar to South Africa. I'm trying to think of the
Okay.
name.
I was gonna say
Okay.
I don't want everything taking place in New York. I don't
No,
want all
yeah.
yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah. I can't
Separate
remember what city it is, but yeah.
South Africa is an interesting.
Semi-open world.
That's a really interesting location for Wolverine. I think that actually might be.
Simcaria? I don't know.
Maybe.
That's kind of cool. I like that. Interesting.
Let's just look it up. Wolverine game setting. Madripoor.
There you go. Yes.
That's cool.
I believe this is a rumor, believed to be set in Madripoor, not confirmed.
Right.
Oh, I lied. I thought it was Africa. It's a southeastern Asian island.
Yes.
That's completely different.
You may have seen Madripoor in that Falcon and Winter Soldier show. I think that they went to Madripoor.
Oh.
This is the episode where that guy, Zemo, is dancing at that party.
Of course, the iconic scene.
Why are you laughing?
This is the iconic scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a meme for a little bit, wasn't it?
Let's move on. Do you remember the Last of Us multiplayer project? Naughty Dog doesn't. I'm kidding. The director reportedly still working on the project, even though it was scaled back. As a part of a tweet about completing Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Vinit Agarwal said, and so this tweet can live on in peace. Yes, I'm still working on that game. So it seems like the multiplayer project is not completely shelved, and there's still some devs cooking.
Yeah, I feel like if you connect all the pieces of what's going on at Sony over the last few months, it paints. I mean, I'm not saying it's 100% true, but it paints a pretty clear picture that like you've got rumors coming out that a lot of studios are pushing back against the games as a service. We know Jim Ryan was pushing for games as a service. Jim Ryan ends up leaving, but before that happens, Naughty Dog's game is scaled down. So it's wild. I'm guessing what happened was that Bungie looked at this game and was like, yeah, no, this isn't going to live service how you want it to live service, Jim Ryan. Naughty Dog probably got pissed. Jim Ryan, scales the team back. This guy's still working on it, trying to get this thing out. Like, I don't know what to believe about this game. I kind of just want them to release it. Let Naughty Dog do their thing. I have a feeling that they might, I don't know. I want this game so bad. Like, at the end of the day, I want this game so bad. I want a multiplayer co-op experience in this universe, and it's super disappointing, the roller coaster we've been on with this game.
And we just saw Warner Brothers fucking say that they want to focus on making their big franchises into live service games even more. Yeah. Of course, we're getting fucking Rocksteady's Suicide Squad, but...
You guys ever see those factory farms where there's just animals hooked up to things? That's you in your wallet now. That's what it's like.
Yeah, I mean,
give us all your money.
Everyone's doing it now.
Yep.
Or I was checking something, and this is depressing me. So I'm I didn't hear anything you guys said. Instead, we're gonna move on into Fortnite. Fortnite has had its biggest day in history. Of course, after re-releasing the Chapter 1 map in its latest season, the Fortnite OG event attracted more than 44 million players on Saturday alone. I was not one of them.
I wasn't either.
I was surprisingly. I jumped
Really?
in because
Wow.
I remembered. At first, I was like, "Yeah, that's cool, old map," but I'm definitely not getting back into that game style. But I remembered that no build is now a permanent thing, so I was like, "I can play the OG map with no build. Sign me
Nice.
up."
Nice, dude.
And I did. Dan, no, I don't want somebody
No.
building a 3-story bungalow in
That's
front
the
of me
whole point
when
of
I
the
shoot
game.
them.
That's
No,
what
it's
makes
awful.
it unique. That's why it's
It's
unique.
awful. I had a moderate amount of fun, not enough to play more than 3 matches, but nostalgia was cool.
So pretty
For a
much just
second.
like any other game you play. 3 matches.
All right, all
Your
right,
3 match threshold.
all right. All right.
Guys, we have some depressing news.
Oh.
PS5 and PS4 will no longer have Twitter/X integration as of November 13th, 2023. Put out your final tweets from PlayStation as soon as you can. But don't remember, you can't curse. You can't curse.
No
It'll censor it.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Of course, Xbox got rid of it as well. So nobody.
You can disembowel dogs in Naughty Dog's latest video game, but you cannot curse. Do not curse.
I'm sorry?
Huh?
Do not come. I'm gonna come.
All right. Sure.
Elon sucks, man. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on. As yesterday, The Escapist fired its editor-in-chief. This is Nick Calandra, and a number of people as well. Some key figures. And after this, in a sort of kind of, what would you call it? Rebellion isn't the word, but kind of a protest. Other staff members of The Escapist decided to leave as well. Very quickly, Nick and Yahtzee Croshaw got together, and they decided to announce that they're working on something together. That became Second Wind, and they already have a YouTube channel up and a logo. Very quick turnaround, where they're going to be posting a lot of their, obviously going to keep doing features and other video game news related stuff, but now on an independent basis, which is exciting.
Very cool. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I like to see this people sticking together too. Lots of people resigning after this and deciding that they're not going to be a part of the corporate nonsense. And like this
Takes balls.
It does. It takes balls, and it's not easy. And I never blame anyone for not doing this. But this is what I say, like in the creative space in video games, this is what needs to start happening. Where when the suits walk in and say, "This is what you're doing with your game. This is what we're gonna do. You need to make sure it has this amount of monetization." People be like, "No, we're not doing it, or we're walking." Because when people do that, like when people stick together, you can accomplish a lot. And yeah, lots of balls. It's not easy to do. Very hard to do, but I respect all the staff members who are just walking after this. That is awesome to see.
And
Again, not an awesome situation, but awesome to see unity.
And it's the people that make the business so successful. So like when you lose the
Exactly.
people, what do you have left? Like
Right. You
Sorry, I'm
have
still looking up.
nothing, and you get nothing.
yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was a lot of people too that left because like my feed was getting filled up with so many
Yep.
people saying that
Mhm,
they were
mhm.
leaving. Very cool.
Absolutely. Not very cool to leave, but you know what I mean.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we get you. Last quick bite. Ardorf, creator of Faith, the Unholy Trinity, tweeted as a joke a while ago at Molly Moon. If you don't know who Molly Moon is, she's this online creator. She does adult entertainment, to put it in one perspective. But she also does like these like TikTok videos that are like super uncanny and like eerie, where she pretends like you're in a like horror game.
Is this
And
the
they're
girl
like-
that like does the mouth open, mouth closed, and she's kind of pixelated? Okay,
Yep.
I know who you're
Mhm.
talking about.
Absolutely. And so this was a joke last December. And Ardorf tweeted today, remember this tweet? Well, ... Seems like they have an announcement coming this Friday. So we'll see what they're up to.
House Party
excited.
Club.
Stop. Stop. I'm so curious about this game ever since you put it on my radar, man. One of these
It's
days.
funny. Honestly, it would be a time just to vibe to. Like it's a very funny game. I haven't played it in forever, but
All right, that's it for Quick Bites. Street Meat. I have none, but I know Gage browses Reddit. Any rumors that I'm unaware of?
nothing in my wheel space. I remember seeing
Okay.
a bunch of Final Fantasy
mean-
stuff that you and Ro would probably be interested in, but I don't know.
I don't
There-
care anymore.
There was a small thing in there about Red Dead Redemption 3 coming out next week, but
yes.
I'm just kidding.
RDR3 coming out next week.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
Let's get into PXN News of the Week because we got some 3 hefty items. Starting with Call of Duty. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 has finally released. Not to be confused with the old Modern Warfare 3, the new one, the new reboot, right?
Are people getting
it released-
confused?
Yes.
I
Yes,
know.
actually.
I know that's why.
Oh, he's teeing you up. Okay.
Released to mixed reviews, some mixed, some poor reviews, critically. A big factor is length of the campaign, with it being the shortest Call of Duty campaign ever. You can beat it in about 3 to 4 hours. IGN gave this game a 4, which is bad, and it's got a 5 from GameSpot. I think there's also some more reviews here that I linked. Okay, sorry, no. In comparison to other games, IGN gave Modern Warfare 2019 an 8.2, Cold War a 7, Vanguard a 7, Modern Warfare 2 a 6, and then now Modern Warfare 3 a 4. The biggest gripe being that the campaign itself does not live up to expectations, and there's a lot of people online, like from the community, saying that this feels like DLC, even the way the game is released, or even like listed, it was appearing as DLC. And then the campaign missions just being open objective missions, and almost like what is it? Like POI from Warzone. Feeling like it was kind of a half-baked, undercooked kind of campaign, and it, for something that should have been huge with Makarov and no Russian and big events from the original Modern Warfare 3, just not living up to fan expectations is like the biggest gripe.
Right.
Stop there. Gates, how are you feeling? Because I know you were tweeting about your excitement for Modern Warfare 3, regardless of reception.
Was I?
Yes, sir, you were.
Was I? I don't even remember this. I remember
You
being
remember your
hyped.
tweet?
I remember being hyped before campaign reviews started dropping, and then
So, here was the thing. Someone was tweeting about how like $70 for a 3-hour game is not an issue because of how much time you'll be spending in campaign. Or sorry, in multiplayer.
right,
So, like,
okay.
You don't care about this aspect because you'll be spending so much time, in Warzone, zombies, DMZ, multiplayer, all the
yeah,
combined.
okay,
but
fair
it's
enough.
not-
I'm following you now. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know because this is the problem, is that I really enjoyed Modern Warfare 2 in terms of I got my money's worth and then some. And it's funny because I don't know if Dan will be able to follow me here, because I don't think Dan would have gotten that. I don't know, you're not somebody who leans towards Call of Duty on your own, but I feel like I could say confidently that you and I have had an absolute blast of a time with DMZ this past year. From DMZ alone, I've got my money's worth. It's a weird thing to say because I didn't expect to say it. So I'm kind of at this weird impasse with Modern Warfare 3, where I feel like I would get my money's worth with how Modern Warfare 2 has gone for me personally, but it's not the same as saying that this product is a good product and therefore everyone else should. It's more so just that I'm not necessarily blaming people who decide to buy it at launch full price. Am I super disappointed with the campaign? Absolutely. It's just lazy is what it is, because you're mentioning that some of the campaign missions are POI. From what I understand is that they may be relegated to a POI, but I've seen clips of people going to either a really tall building or something like that. It is just the Warzone map. It's not like it's a sectioned off it is just the Warzone map that these missions take place in. So not only is it the shortest campaign in Call of Duty history, but half of the missions are literally just the Warzone map. And they're not even maybe they add props here and there, but I don't know. I don't know how you can justify that and say that it's not laziness, because I think it just is. And I don't. It might not be laziness by choice. It might be laziness as in this is the deadline, get this out. But either
Right.
way, no matter which way you spin it, this is a campaign that was not handcrafted like the other ones. And
Well,
I think it's going to become a trend, much like everything else we talk about. Like I think the next Call of Duty is probably going to. Well, maybe not because Treyarch, because of how they shoveled it around. Treyarch now has 4 years for this next one, so maybe not. But
remember that?
I don't know.
Remember that Modern Warfare 2 was supposed to be a 2-year game.
Right.
It was
Correct.
it was supposed to be like, I think Sledgehammer's game was supposed to be cooking a lot longer,
Right.
but due to like fan reception and people being unhappy with Modern Warfare 2, I think they didn't have a choice but to get onto the next product as quick as they can. I think when you're saying laziness might not be on the part of the developers, I think you're right. That I think per Activision or whatever, like
Exactly,
they
right?
had
It's
like just forced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the suits coming in saying, "We don't care." Like, and that's why, yeah, try to make that distinction is that, yeah, I mean, developers nowadays very rarely have say over the actual products that they make. They just have to try their best to make that product be the best that it can for the time that it's released. But in
Right.
terms of the suits, it's absolutely laziness in terms of, oh, this isn't going according to plan. Okay, just shove this out, get this out. And they've done that before. They've screwed over Sledgehammer before in the past as well, with messing around with the timetables. But at the same time, while trying to acknowledge and be nice to the developers, this is the final product that is in our hands. So
Yeah.
therefore, I'm going to critique this final product
Sure.
as it is delivered, and it is not a good product. So I don't know. It's kind of hampered my excitement. I'm still looking forward to zombies. I'm still looking forward to multiplayer, but I don't know.
Yeah, I personally, and I think that most of the blame, in my opinion, should be pointed at Activision because, in my opinion, it's mainly focused around the greediness of Activision coming back out yet
Right.
again because they want to keep getting that $70 product out every year and make the bottom line even larger for themselves. Of course, now they're part of Microsoft, so that that may stay the same. That may change with Game Pass integration. I don't know. Obviously, we don't really know that until we kind of see what happens with that. But yeah, this is absolutely greediness of Activision coming out, them telling Sledgehammer, we need a full-fledged game this year. Because remember, like, there were rumors earlier this year that this was going to be an expansion, like, 8 months ago. Like, what if Sledgehammer is building something completely different for the expansion, and then they came to them and they're like, hey, we need you to build a fucking campaign here in 8 months. Good luck.
Right.
Like, that's just not feasible. And like, you even see it, and I know this is a much smaller example, but like that King Kong game that came out recently.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the developers were given like fucking no time at all to make that game, and that's just super unfair to hand something to a developer and say, hey, make me this fucking game in this short amount of time, and say, good luck, we're not delaying it, it has to come out. Like, that sucks. I hate that kind of shit. Like, always give the developers the time they need to make what they want to make is my philosophy.
I'm at the point where I always like to vote with my wallet, and I think these kinds of practices are so sad, gross to me that I'm just like, I do not want to spend $70 on some, not one like games like Alan Wake 2 with such like care and time and craft are coming out. I do not want to give Activision Call of Duty my money right now.
Yeah. Right. And even if you're excited for everything else, fucking just wait a couple weeks for the Black Friday sales. Yeah, it's gonna go on.
All right, I'll wait. All right, I'll wait.
Anyway, well, you don't have to if you don't. Did you already buy it?
I did not buy it.
Okay. That's not spoilers on TikTok. Anyway.
I looked up spoilers. As soon as I saw the campaign was bad, I was like, cool, I don't care.
Same.
Lame. So lame.
Some unfortunate news here. Microsoft is bringing AI characters to Xbox. Now, that's unfortunate based on the headline. Of course, things are always a bit more gray area, but let us discuss. Microsoft is partnering with In-World AI to develop Xbox tools that will allow developers to create AI-powered characters, stories, and quests. The multi-year partnership will include an AI design co-pilot system that Xbox devs can use to create detailed scripts, dialogue trees, quest lines, and more. I'll read you the quote here. At Xbox, we believe that with better tools, creators can make even more extraordinary games, explains Haiyan Zhang, general manager of gaming at AI at Xbox. This partnership will bring together in-world expertise and working with generative AI models for character development. Microsoft's cutting-edge cloud-based AI solutions, including Azure OpenAI Service. Microsoft researches technical insights into the future of play and Team Xbox's strengths, revolutionizing accessible and responsible creator tools for all developers. The gist of it is that, of course, generative AI, these developers are going to be using the tools to help write, NPCs, one in the background that you're, use to like fill the world the same way you will use like, algorithms to kind of like make spaces
like No Man's Sky.
Tree. Yeah, exactly. But also to help write, narrative, when you're approaching and you talk to someone, interact with someone, these things are there to kind of help them, just make a bunch of stuff that they don't have to write themselves, or not entirely, I should say. This is the future that we're living in. There are numerous jobs that use generative AI. It's kind of hard to escape it now. Like the jobs, kind of, you have to use this to work more efficiently. I'm at the point now where I'm no longer entirely against AI, but I'm concerned with or how people use it with or without like supervision. My thing is, of course, I think it was someone on the Xbox team said that the developers can use it, as little as they want or as much as they want. My thing is, how do we get oversight on how people are using it to ensure that the level of like craft and care and editing is still happening, and it's not just like, all right, AI to game done. No, you still want to go in and fix and make sure everything is working correctly, that it sounds good, that you're having enough human craft in the actual making of it, that it still feels like it's being developed.
And like to that point, Christian, like I think that you illustrated that perfectly, but like Starfield is like the perfect example of that, where it basically generates terrain as you land on these different planets. And like I feel like games like that could benefit in terms of its supplementary content. So you still have the handcrafted narrative that, Todd Howard's team builds as your main quest line and all of that. But like the cool thing with this that could be implemented would be like, instead of having all these fucking barren planets that, you go to and there's nothing there, there's nothing to explore, maybe they fill that stuff with these thousands of planets with this kind of technology that, as long as, like you're saying, it fulfills some kind of quality bar, because obviously it's not going to match what, Todd Howard's team is doing, building you that handcrafted narrative, but it might feel better than just having, 1,000 empty planets out there that, the player can't really explore and interact with things.
As is the case, let's just be wary of it moving forward. We don't want to end up like the finals here. I grant that's a beta. It's different, but still.
Yeah.
This is probably the most unsettling, disturbing, disgusting news for me. I'm not even going to like shy away from that. This is deeply concerning to me. Nintendo tweeted, this is Miyamoto. Sorry, Miyamoto tweets from the Nintendo account. This is Miyamoto. I have been working on the live-action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now with Avi Arad, who has produced many mega-hit films. I have asked Avi-san to produce this film with me, and we have now officially started the development of the film with Nintendo itself heavily involved in the production. It will take time until its completion, but I hope you look forward to seeing it. No, I will not. A Zelda movie that is live action, just off the bat, it does not sound like what we want out of a Zelda movie. Is this better than getting a Illumination Zelda? Maybe. But it is Sony producing it, responsible for the Emoji Movie and Slenderman. Wes Ball, the director of the Maze Runner movies, is involved. Avi Arad, producer of Morbius, and then Derek Connolly, the writer of Jurassic World and Rise of Skywalker. These people are all involved in the writing of Legend of Zelda. This is not what we need. This is not what we need at all. You need like Ghibli to be working on something like this, or Laika Studios.
Right. I have two parts. I disagree hard on the first part. Illumination did a
agree.
great job with Mario. Exactly. I went into
Disgusting.
that. No, I watched it way after. I actually probably avoided it subconsciously because of all the shit you talked about it. Lynn and I threw it on one night. I watched it on the OLED, and it was gorgeous, fun, fine movie. Totally good blockbuster. Fine. So Illumination Zelda movie would be fine in my books. Your second half, though, I fully agree with you. That's what a basket of just half molded bread that is. That's just not no bueno.
Obviously, not speaking to the creative aspect, because you obviously know immensely more about the creatives working on this, Christian, but like the idea of a live action Zelda film, I think personally sounds kind of interesting. Like if they made it more gritty, and because personally I'm not.
Don't the different games have different tones? Like that's not
Yes.
totally out of pocket, right? Like they
Yes,
could go for
exactly.
something a bit more.
That's what I was thinking. Like you make a
Right.
fucking gritty, obviously I don't think that's what they're going for here, but like you make a gritty fucking down to earth live action Zelda movie with, Link fucking having some real heartache, and I don't know. I think that would
You
be
don't know who
kinda
you're
cool.
messing with.
Yeah.
I'm Zelda.
Yeah. Well, I'm Link. I'm Link.
To the credit of Avi Arad, there are some good movies under his belt. Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, he produced with Sony. The original Iron Man from 2008 with Jon Favreau.
Well, those are all
this-
pretty good movies.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. But yeah, we have more Sony movies like Uncharted, of course, Venom 1 and 2. Yeah, who's to say? But there's a lot of people, crew on this movie that I'm just kind of nervous about nailing the tone. But Dana's right, of course. Time will tell. Time will tell. Let's get into our fantasy draft check-in. I went in and bid on 2 games to fill my entire thing out. One of those games is an indie called Gunhead. This is from Alien Trap, developers of Witchwood, Apotheon, and Cryptarch. The game released today, and unfortunately has 0 reviews on Metacritic or OpenCritic. But
This other one.
we'll just give it some time. We'll give it some time for those to roll in. And then for a long time I was looking at
Wow.
what. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they'll give me some points. If not, then I guess whatever. But the next game, not a lot of games left to pick from at the end of the year, and I decided to bet big on an upcoming game. Of course, the cover of the next Game Informer magazine. This is, of course, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, coming out in December. I just went in and said, "Screw it, why not?" If this gets me some big points and gets me over Dan, incredible. Because we're currently tied.
Yeah.
We're both at 175.
Yeah.
You ready? Do you want me to tell you what the score is going to be for Avatar? What you're going to walk away with?
Mid to high 70s, baby.
62 at its highest.
62.
This game does not look good.
If it hits 62, then I'm definitely winning.
Yes. You just nailed your own coffin, baby.
I don't have much else to choose from, dude.
And you guys made fun of me for picking all those games early. Now
That's
who's
all right.
laughing?
Yeah.
Third time's a charm. Next year, you don't even know what's coming your way.
I can't get second again. We're tied, dude.
Now, to be fair, you do have 9 points still coming from Like a Dragon that have not calculated yet. So you have 9 points.
Yes.
There.
But you have Persona 5 Tactica, which is coming out next week.
True.
Also, I forgot to mention, apparently accidentally released on Steam or something like that. People are already playing it. And then you have Super Mario RPG Remake, and people were impressed with that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I need Team Cherry to come on the Game Awards and shadow drop Silk Song.
That could happen. I mean, honestly, it could happen. I could see that.
I need Jesus Christ to come again and
All right.
save us.
Save us,
December.
Donald Trump. Seen those videos. President Trump. Save us. Dan, what you got for me?
What do I have for you? Well, I've got Spider-Man 2. And Christian, you asked before the podcast how far I was at Spider-Man 2 and if I would be done 2 weeks from now. And I'm here to happily tell you that I am nowhere close to being. No, I'm just kidding. I am to the point where the game tells you make sure you get all your upgrades done because
Right.
you're about to start the final bit here.
Yeah, get ready to be disappointed.
Really? Oh, well, that's sad.
I'm
I've
kidding.
enjoyed it thus far.
I'm kidding. I'm
Okay.
kidding. If you're liking it, then I'm pretty sure you'll like the ending.
Okay. All right. I will say, the more I've played, like even more so than last week when I was talking about it, the more bugs I've fucking run into, and it's getting very frustrating.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was playing a shitload as soon as I got home from work yesterday because I wanted to get myself in a good position to have it done for next week's episode, and I switched to one of my suits, and when I switched to one of my suits, my character model decided to turn into a white cube. And I was like, what the
You got the
fuck?
cube!
I did. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, maybe this suit's bugged. So then I went back to the suit I was using, and it I literally watched it change from the suit that I was using to the fucking white cube. Every single suit I chose turned to the white cube. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then I just had to go in the game to see what the fuck this looks like. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm swinging through New York City as this white cube. And I'm just like,
Awesome.
okay. Yeah. So then I was like, all right, let me just play for a little bit and just see what happens. So I land in a certain area and I start melee fighting some enemies. Then my fucking white cube falls through the map and I'm falling endlessly as I see the fucking world of New York City going above me. And I'm like, all right, well, I hope my game doesn't save right now. And I fall to my death and it kills me. And then I reload as the white cube. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay. I shut my PlayStation down and then I turned it back on and like I completely hard closed Spider-Man, went back in and everything was back to normal. Luckily.
Okay.
I was like, okay.
Thank God.
Yeah. But
imagine doing the final mission as the white cube.
Insane.
They're in-game cutscenes, aren't they, too? They're in-engine.
Yeah.
Right? So
a lot of them are.
You'd be Cube in the cutscenes. That would be hilarious. If that happens, please record that.
Yeah. I did record a bit when I was swinging around with the white cube.
Send that.
I will.
I got a lot of bugs. I got the same one that you had, where like I switched characters and I was Peter and I was hearing Miles.
Oh, what the?
That was me. That was
Gage. Yeah.
Yep.
I had instances where my character freezes, like in an animation, and it just like sticks in that animation, just always.
Mm-hmm.
I have issues where audio cuts out again. I can't hear anything except for like just dialogue, and I've been having a lot of issues where I'll do a finisher and my camera just spins in 360s like insanely fast and won't stop.
Like it's gaining momentum
until the animation finishes. It just goes. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if this is a fault of my own or what, but I was trying to literally get like 100% completion on the map. Like I was already very close because I've been collecting a shitload as I go. And the Miles missions, I forget what they're called, the Visions or something, or Harlem, or frick.
The Vision Academy in Brooklyn.
Vision Academy. I hadn't started any of those missions, and one popped up on my map at one point, and I know it was there because I saw the logo for it. I was doing other shit. Well, now there's none of those are on my map anymore. Like there's nothing. Like I can't go. I even looked online to see where exactly they're at, and I swung to those locations to see if maybe they're there. They're not there. So like I literally can't do those 4 missions for that because I never started them. So I was like, all right, well I guess I'm not 100%ing this, but
I wonder if that's because of the map changing.
Were you in the campaign?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the maybe I can do them after I finish then, possibly. I don't know.
Right.
Without spoilers. Do you want to know?
Oh,
If you can keep doing stuff in the open world.
I mean, sure. Yeah. I'm assuming I can, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna make a joke, but it's also kind of spoiler, so I'm not going.
That's all I got.
I also played more Spider-Man. I beat the game and went on backlog.com, and I had nothing more than one sentence to say. Insomniac needs to stop watching MCU movies. I was devastatingly disappointed at the quality of the writing of this game for most of the time, and unfortunately got worse and worse as the game went on. I found the ending just so extremely disappointing with what they do to some characters. Some motivations were just questionable. Pacing was off. And I found much like the first game, there's a post-credit scene at the end of this one, and I found it to be so heinous, it pissed me off. I didn't like. I need them just to chill a little bit. I need them to relax a little bit. That said, gameplay, bugs aside, best it's ever been. I take back everything I said about the combat and everything else. The traversal is fantastic. It's so much fun swinging around that city. I didn't want to stop. And I went through and I achieved the platinum as of 2 days ago. And I was a little bit sad. I was like, there's nothing else for me to do in this game. And I got a little bit bummed because swinging around feels so good. I mean, we talked about how we did the fast travel just to check it out, to see it, but I don't want to fast travel in that game because the swinging is so addicting. Everything about Spider-Man 2 they nailed except for the narrative. Need them to go back. IMO. Gage?
I too have been playing Spider-Man 2 and wrapped it up and finished it. And I mean, yeah, I'm in the same boat as Christian personally. Did not jive with the writing specifically of a certain character, and I actually went because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't making this mistake that a lot of people make, where I'm comparing this against some hypothetical in my own head that like, oh, this isn't living up to a standard that I've created. So I did myself a favor and I went and watched into this Across the Spider-Verse just to kind of refresh myself on some of these characters. And I'm like, no, you can make these characters really relatable and authentic and genuine. And I don't think they nailed it. I don't think it's egregious to an extent where it's maybe bad. I don't know. I'm playing this game and the writing, it's such a mixed bag where the traversal is incredible and the combat is the combat never, if I'm being honest, it never really clicked with me in the second game. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the changes to gadgets or whatever it was. Everything felt a bit more bullet spongy, except it's melee combat, but the equivalent of very bullet spongy enemies, and it didn't click for me. But the combat is fluid and it's fast and it's fun. The traversal is perfect. There's zero qualms about the traversal. But the narrative and like the dialogue writing, I'm like, this feels like some weird like AA game from the mid 2000s where it's like, I can see what you're going for, but it sounds like this was written by like college students that are just getting their first shot at writing. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. For me, it didn't click to like such a degree that it was immersion breaking, and I felt like I'm playing this amazing first party game with these incredible graphics and this beautiful vistas, and then I'm like I said, this is like a fan film level of writing, to me at least, in my opinion. It didn't click at all.
Fan film writing is a good way to put it. Wow.
It really did not feel. It did not feel like Insomniac Spider-Man. Funny enough for me. Like, and I went back and watched some cutscenes from the first game, and I don't know. There's a lot of characters, a lot of plot holes that I think your comparison to the MCU is actually really good. Where, like, current MCU, where it feels like
sure.
They're setting up a lot of threads, and they really want to make sure that they do all these fun things. And I'm thinking about, the secondary villain, the first villain that you spend first act fighting in this game, compared to Martin Lee in the first game, and I'm like, I could have sworn that we got some character development for the enemies in the first game, and Craven is just like Why? What is he? What? Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, very disappointing with the narrative.
Did you guys think that Martin Lee had good writing in this game? Because I thought his storyline was super interesting in this game.
That's what I'm saying. But he also had. So he had good writing in this game.
Okay.
So Martin Lee, whenever Martin Lee's on screen in this game, actually,
Yeah.
you're probably in for some of the best content of Spider-Man 2, in my opinion.
Yes.
I think, and that's the thing. When I criticize the narrative, I want to be important. I'm not saying it's like there are some peaks in this. Like there are some really incredible set pieces and some really good emotional highs in this game. It's not all bland, but when I bring up Martin Lee, I'm saying in the first game he was the secondary villain, right? He wasn't the final guy that you fought in the first game, but he was the Kraven, if you will. He's the the first guy that you fight. He had more development in that game than Kraven had in this game. Kraven was kind of just teased. We got that awesome, cool intro, and then it's like, what was his motivation? What was he doing? It was so flat in this game. It was so lackluster, in my opinion, that by the time the secondary villain shows up, who we all know is Venom, it's like, cool, now we're getting into it, but I feel like I wasted the first act of this game. Like, I wasn't hooked at all. And that kind of, that hampered on the entire experience for me. So, I don't know. This very, very strange game. I'm happy that everyone's enjoying it. It just feels like I'm playing a different game from everybody.
Yeah.
Because this game, in certain spaces, you would think that it's being, well, it is. It's being lauded for its narrative, but I don't know. It did not click for me at all. So I'm totally in agreement with Christian there on this.
To your point, to your point as well, yes, Kraven's the least interesting part of this game, I think, in terms of the story. And like pretty much I'd say 75% of this game is revolving around Kraven, like the world, because you're going to all those points. And so yes, I could totally see that aspect because most of the world is revolving around Kraven, until certain points. But
I think Flint Marco gets more like in depth kind of emotional kind of stakes, and it's just like you hear his voice in these little sand statues than you do.
Absolutely,
with,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
And I don't want to drone on and on, but I just want to say, I just want to reiterate, to me, somebody who is a casual Spider-Man fan, as in I've watched all the movies, I watched the original, cartoon when I was a kid, and that's kind of it. I haven't read the comics. Insomniac seems to be at its strongest when it's deviating from what we know and from what has been rehashed with Spider-Man, because Martin Lee is an incredibly interesting character in both the first and second game, and I would argue that as a casual Spider-Man fan, he's not really one of the people that you normally see in the movies or the TV shows or anything like that. So I wish, it almost seems like, to both Dan's point and Christian's point, that when Insomniac leans towards the Marvel Cinematic Universe of let's do the people that are well known, that's when it gets weaker, as opposed to let's take somebody not as well known and do our own thing with it. That's when Insomniac's writing in the Spider-Man universe seems to be at its strongest. So I hope that we can course correct after this and maybe go back to doing things a bit differently and maybe focusing on some of these lesser known characters where there aren't these sort of expectations. Because anytime Martin Lee is on screen in this game, you are in for a really well done mission with some really good emotional beats. But the rest of the game for me just falls flat. Even emotional beats that other people liked, I'm not buying it. It's not working.
Yeah, I should say that when I said MCU-ification of Spider-Man 2, it's things like relegating kind of like these intimate character moments for like world setup for future installments, and then specifically like the third act problem that Marvel seems to have, where like they kind of like it's like the first two acts are this one thing, and everything in the third act is just like, all right, CGI villain. End of the world stakes kind of MacGuffin kind of things. That's what usually happens in the MCU, and that's kind of how like I emotionally felt at the end of Spider-Man 2 without spoiling anything.
Right.
7 out of 10 for me.
7 I couldn't give it higher than a 7 out of 10.
I thought you said 10 out of 10. I was like, whoa.
Oh, what a roller coaster!
I was like, what happened?
10 out of 10.
Okay.
And actually, just to jump off that last point, if Insomniac is working on some sort of Avengers game, if we're introduced to these characters,
Avengers.
Well, there's a rumor that they're working on a multiplayer game. We don't know what property it is, but I mean, come on, Insomniac making a multiplayer game nowadays. I mean, it's a good. I'm just saying, if they're introducing other superheroes in this universe, they better have been doing something else while the events of this game were taking place. Because we're already getting to silly levels of like when you say MCU world building, where it's like, where's everybody while this is happening? What's going on? Why? This doesn't make any sense. That it's just these two idiots taking care of this. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking about the game now.
Yeah. More thoughts in 2 weeks when we do a Spider-Man 2 spoiler cast.
That's gonna be exciting.
Oh,
That's
Dan,
gonna
yeah,
be
2 weeks.
hell
Yeah,
yeah.
2 weeks.
exciting.
I'll be beating it by next week. Don't you worry.
Yeah. I won't
Let's
be.
go.
That's why.
That's
Sorry.
fair. That's fair.
Topic of the show, and an hour in. Grand Theft Auto 6, folks. Grand Theft Auto 6. So you've been waiting for. We made you wait, just like Rockstar made you wait. Last night, Jason Schreier from Bloomberg shares an article with insider information that Rockstar apparently plans to unveil GTA 6 very soon. And the tweet was that it could be as soon as this week with a trailer in December. Right? Today, folks. Today, in the morning, Rockstar confirms via Twitter that yes, coinciding with the 25th anniversary of Rockstar, and we're very excited to let you know that in early December, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you. Thank you, Sam Hauser. And now I'll just start with Gage because seemingly he's the most excited for this bit of news.
I am the most. I guess I'm the most excited, but we should all be excited because it's like the Dark Knight syndrome, where like every time Rockstar comes into the zeitgeist like this, everybody likes to pretend like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It's huge. Nobody makes games like Rockstar. Every time a game releases, regardless, like we're talking about, the narrative, the traversal, this, that of Spider-Man, regardless of any of that, the technology of a new Rockstar release puts the entire industry forward. And it's happened every release for their past, 3-4 games now, going back 15 years. Like Red Dead 1, when that came out, the horse animations, the vistas, the music was next to none. GTA 5, I don't even need to say anything because the driving
GTA
mechanics.
4, man.
GTA 4, the soft body. Like when have you ever seen car deformation in a game like that before GTA 4? I didn't see anything like that except for like maybe PC simulators that I would never play in my life. You know what I mean? Like it's insane. So this is a huge deal. I'm not even gonna pretend that it's not. I can't wait for after the trailer drops and we start seeing industry heads pretending like it's not a big deal. It is a huge deal. It's a huge deal. And it doesn't just benefit Rockstar. It's not about being a Rockstar fanboy. It's that every time Rockstar releases a game, it lights a fire under every other studio's ass to okay, this is the new bar that we need to now strive towards. I'm incredibly excited.
And every time they do anything, it breaks like news, like websites, like
into the mainstream
it's
consciousness.
it's like the top like article of all time or whatever, the top video played on the website of all time. Do you remember when Rockstar released when they changed their color of their logo from yellow to red?
Yes, I do remember. I remember screaming.
and then the follow up with the Red Dead 2 like teaser where it's just the environment. And I remember me watching that video over and over again, not believing this can't be a game. This looks like real. These environments look real. That night sky, that's a real night sky. So I'm absolutely This is going to be like a monumental like GTA. There's the trend today on Twitter. GTA 5 releasing 10 years ago in September. And then, like comparing to what we look like now, that's 10 years before since we've gotten a Grand Theft Auto game. Thank you, Dan, for also sharing that GTA 5 has sold 190 million copies to date. Man, can you imagine?
That's insane.
That's just copies of the game. That's not even including like how much money they're making from GTA Online subscriptions and microtransactions, what have you.
The shark cards, got to get that.
The shark cards. You got to get those shark cards.
Subscription.
Glenn says Glenn says,
let's check the chat. Yeah, let's check the chat.
Wow, is this new Gage under contract for Rockstar? No, I mean he's base, Glenn. He's base. I mean Rockstar makes
Dan.
bangers.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I mean GTA 5 is literally one of the best games of all time. I mean,
yes,
it technically story was fantastic. Maybe Christian disagrees, but
I think
GTA 4 story more. Sorry.
Oh.
GTA 4 story I might like more, but GTA 5 story, I mean, it's a Tarantino crime thriller. Like that's the thing. They are good. Like that's the first thing that people play,
The
and
heists
then
were cool though.
and then you spend your rest of the time doing online. I think if people replayed the story does hit. It does have emotional beats. It does have really good stakes. So I agree with Dan. I would say that Red Dead would edge out a Grand Theft Auto for best game of all time, like Red Dead 2, just because I feel like it has that story. It has like most of the GTA things, but then also like just good emotional depth.
And that's the point.
And that's still a Rockstar game, right?
Yeah.
Exactly,
Every
right?
game
And
they
that's what
make.
people don't realize is that whatever technology they make for one game, they always bring it forward to the other, and it's just like this constant self-improvement where it's like almost like a particle accelerator. Just whatever thing they make just gets better and better and better and goes faster and faster. And oh man,
we saw how good fucking Red Dead 2 looked on last gen. We haven't seen anything on this gen from them. Like, what's this gonna look like?
This is going to be coming natively to Xbox Series X, right? They're gonna, even if it's like there's no performance mode and it's just 30 frames, like what Rockstar is gonna be able to squeeze out of these consoles at 30 frames, going to look insane.
And I think fucking Naughty Dog and Insomniac don't get enough credit for their fucking 40 FPS performance mode or fidelity modes using 120 hertz, because I've been playing Spider-Man in that mode. You cannot, personally, I cannot tell the difference between 40 and 60 FPS. Like I've been, and obviously swinging is very fucking, motion intensive, and I'm very like, I don't know, sensitive to that topic. Like I play Halo Infinite multiplayer at 120 frames per second on Series X, and this feels phenomenal. Like I wish more developers would do that, because that's really good.
I've heard that from a lot of people, that like the 40 FPS fidelity mode, specifically on Spider-Man 2, has been really, really smooth. Also, I just want to point out that Glenn has not played Red Dead 2 story mode at all, so he doesn't get to comment on anything.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Wow.
Sublime experience. The like final act and then the epilogue of Red Dead 2. Some of the like my favorite moments in gaming. It's so good.
Not all the chapters hit, but what Red Dead 2 is like, you're watching like 5 seasons of prestige television. By the time you get to the end credits, you're sitting there sobbing and just like, wow, like an experience. And like GTA 5, not quite to the same level, but
still crazy.
Same kind of thing where you're exactly. The credits I remember the credits rolling over the beach, right? The sunset, and me going like, wow, what an experience. And we're about to get that again. I mean, in a year from now. But like it's actually tangible now. And like we haven't even like, I mean, I don't know if we can even squeeze it in this episode or if it'd be a future one, but like, just go over the leaks again and look at the content that was in the game, right? The amount of features, the amount of things they're doing, and like the fact that they're doing the same Red Dead like gun stuff where you have to store your big guns in your trunk and you can only have so many on your, like, this all sounds great. It all sounds good. Recently I was going through, like, I mean, you asked earlier in the show, I guess I can say now, I was looking through somebody who just kind of did a second pass on all the leaks and stuff, and it looks like some of the ideas and things that people wanted from Red Dead 2 might make it into this, where it seems like there's a system for like specific buddy commands where you're going to have an AI with you that you can order to go do things like take cover, restrain that hostage, all this stuff. So like, I can only imagine what we're going to see in December, but this game, it's going to be a leapfrog moment again.
These are like system sellers, if ever, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm thinking back to when like
industry sellers, right? Like it's because they're not tied up with one or the other. It's like, this is a reason to be a gamer. This is a reason to get into video games, right? Just to get into the industry.
Absolutely.
Glenn's defending his honor. He says, "I just never finished it. Thank you very much. I also haven't finished Witcher 3."
I would bet you, I would comfortably bet you 2,000 Canadian dollars that he's not left the snow yet in Red Dead 2.
Holy shit.
He's saying, I've not finished it. I guarantee you this man is not even at chapter 2.
I mean, I guess it takes a while. It's like 3 to 5 hours of game time, I think. But that was like a moment. That was awesome. I love the snow part.
I did too.
Yes.
Yeah. My problems with Red Dead 2 story is like towards the tail end, like the Guarma. I don't have any issue with the opening.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any issue with the opening at all. I thought the opening was very like with Hateful Eight kind of vibes, where I was like, "This is cool.
Absolutely.
I'm digging this." Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I wanted to. One of my main questions I didn't write down is since we're looking forward to GTA 6, I kind of want to look back as well, since everyone on Twitter is doing so. I want to know your story with GTA, and specifically GTA 5. Like, where were you in 2013, and what was your experience like playing that game then? Yeah. Daniel,
I'll let Dan go first. I'll be right back.
Just GTA 5 or GTA in general?
GTA in general if you want, but I'm looking for GTA 5 specifically, since the trend is like, here's me in 2013 when GTA 5 released.
That's fair. Okay.
Well,
I'll just say my cousin got me on GTA initially, and he owned a PlayStation. Same. Yeah, and I never owned a PlayStation.
That's always how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm playing GTA at my cousin's house.
Exactly. Yeah, and I never owned a PlayStation, so that was the only place to play at the time. So yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, GTA 5. I would have been in college, 2013, enjoying life, as a college student.
I remember.
But no, that was a time where I had much more time on my hands, where I could play video games a shitload. So the 50 to 60 hour campaign of GTA 5, which that was a pretty beefy campaign that people forget about, but I had a ton of fun with that. And then of course GTA Online, I think it didn't launch initially, right? It came later.
It took a couple months.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when that came out, of course it was broken at launch, which every fucking online game is nowadays. But when that thing was up and running, that was such a cool experience, just seeing like everyone in the open world, like just flying jets and driving cars and all this crazy madness. Of course they've built it out so much since then, but like, yeah, I have so many memories of just hopping into a GTA Online lobby and just seeing all kinds of madness go on. It's awesome.
Same for me. Yeah, I of course had cousins who had Grand Theft Auto, but I didn't have it. And you get playing that way. And I like thinking about next gen, because I remember looking at GTA 4 when that came out, and me not having a PS3 and thinking, this is next gen. This game like is a next gen game, and wanting to get a next gen console because of games like this. And eventually I did. But yeah, GTA 5, 2013, I was also an undergraduate in college. And I remember when that game dropped, I shared a picture, in our Twitter chat of me, excited, posting it on Instagram that I've got my ticket to Los Santos. And I skipped a lot of Tuesday and Thursday afternoon sociology classes so I could be playing Grand Theft Auto 5. What a moment. Very fun.
I was trying to find something for a little reveal here, but I could not locate it. Where was I? Midnight of release. I was standing in line outside of my local mall with my receipt for my GTA 5 Collector's Edition, which I still have somewhere in this house. I don't know where it is. Oh my god. Just the excitement was tangible. I mean, midnight releases in general are usually a good vibe anyways, because it's just a collection of people that really like that one thing. But as we're talking about, like, with GTA, it's a bit more of just, like, it's above a specific fandom. It's like this, I don't know. I remember just the lineup going around the mall, there being seemingly hundreds of people, and of course, because I was in high school and we have nothing better to do, we all planned it out so that we were like, maybe my group, it was me and 3 of my friends, and we were maybe like, 7th or 8th in line. Like, we were right up there. And just people talking about their favorite Rockstar games and blaring music from different soundtracks and having to, oh my god, the excitement was tangible. And also, on the cab ride back, very late in the evening, somebody ran up to our cab and slapped the window while we were paused at a while we were stopped at a red light. It felt, I don't know why, but this memory, it reminds me of the opening of what's that movie, I Am Legend. It was very hectic at moment. Like, this person was not right. They ran up to the cab and like slapped on the window, and we were all kind of like freaking out. But anyways, where was I? Midnight release, waiting for this game with bated breath. And
Rest in peace to midnight releases, man. That was
right.
I was
It's
just
a
that
good
one.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've
Midnight.
they've decreased a lot in terms of like the like how often they're
I know
done.
what you mean.
Yeah. Like it's just one of those. Well, I mean, GameStop itself, right, is a shadow of its former self. So
Yeah.
having the staff to do that is just not feasible. But yeah, and
I'm
then
excited
getting
for the
home
GT.
and
Oh, good.
tearing open that box and oh my god, all the goodies, all the physical goodies that come with Rockstar game. Are we still gonna get a map? Are we still get all this fun stuff?
The maps, dude. Physical releases, and you're getting the map. Yeah, dude.
As the game's installing, I'm looking over the map. Ooh, I'm gonna go here. Ooh, I'm gonna go. What's this? Oh, this looks like an airport. This looks like a military base.
Dude,
Man,
that was always the fucking best when there's a new
Yep.
GTA. You just look for the fucking airport and just
right?
go crazy.
You're like, where am I gonna go cause some
Yes.
shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
absolutely.
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, YYXBALL down
Right.
up down up spawns the Hydra jet. I still remember that to this day. Oh, so good. I
And was
fucking used the shit
GTA
out of that.
Was GTA 5 the one where if you put it under a black light, there was like Easter egg?
I'm sorry?
Is this?
Is
Am I
it?
breaking this to you guys now?
I didn't realize.
I didn't know
that.
this.
I don't know if it was just the collector's edition or if it was every map, but I'm pretty sure that like somebody told me like because I went there again with a group of friends. Somebody was like, "Yo, I just
it
read
is.
this thing.
Yeah.
Grab a black light." Yeah, okay, so it is a thing. Yeah, I think it points you towards Easter eggs. It doesn't, there's no cheat codes or anything, but it points you towards Easter eggs. And I remember like being like,
That's cool.
"What is going on right now? This is just a moment. This is just so cool." And we're about to get that again.
GTA 6 teaser trailer dropping next month. Go ahead, Dan.
Now, is it going to be called GTA 6? Because I saw Damon Hatfield, of course, friend of the show. He's not really a friend of the show. I'm just going to say that. From IGN. He tweeted out, is this even going to be like GTA 6? Because Rockstar is not referring to it as GTA 6. Maybe that's just because it's not announced yet. But I did see some people speculating GTA Vice with the VI highlighted, which that'd be kind of neat. Little callback to Vice City.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
call back to San Andreas, right? San Andreas was not a numbered installment either, right? So it's possible. Yeah, the precedent is there. That would be kind of cool. I mean, cool. I mean, it would be fine. I don't know if it's better than just GTA 6. It would be just the right, but
stylistic. Yeah.
GTA Vice. Yeah, I can get with that. Whatever. Listen, Sam. Whatever you want to name it, it's fine. Just get that bad boy out. And I'll play it.
It's like the iPhone 5 SE, GTA 6 CE. You know what I mean? Think about it. I'm excited though. I don't think it's happening at the Game Awards. I think they're just dropping it on their own YouTube channel like they always do.
I think it's Game Awards. I think it's Game Awards.
I think so. Wow.
I was actually really upset too because when they surprise announced this and said like, "Hey, it's coming next." I was starting to feel it that Jeff Keighley was going to get this, and I don't know if it's necessarily Jeff Keighley getting it, but I think Rockstar, as influential as they are to the gaming industry, I would imagine that maybe somebody there higher up sees what Jeff Keighley's doing and maybe is like just kind of like, I like this. Because like if I don't see them going to one or the other in terms of boxes, in terms of hardware, because that's just gonna cause so much shit, right? So I don't know. I had this feeling that they might want to go to Jeff Keighley's show just as like, this is neutral, this is Switzerland. This is kind of like an event for just games in general.
Yeah.
Therefore, this would be a good spot for us to do it if they weren't going to do it on their own. But as history tells us, it is entirely possible that they do just drop it on their own. One day you go in and that's the trending thing on YouTube. It's #1 video and they've just uploaded it. I think that is totally possible, but I'm starting to feel it in my balls a little bit. I think it's going to be at the Game Awards.
If
they open.
No way.
Wow.
No, that would be
open.
nuts.
Dude. They announced that it's coming next month, a month away. You got to open with that. Open the Game Awards with this?
I think it's possible. I think it is. Totally. And that's all everyone's going to be talking about throughout the whole show, right? No matter what else comes afterwards, you're going to be thinking about GTA.
GTA.
And that would be a big brain move for sure.
That might be part of the problem as well, though, because then the rest of the show. But if Jeff gets that fucking exclusive, that would be the biggest get that he's ever gotten. Like that's a massive get for him.
Because there's no guarantee that he is gonna get it, but you have to think there's no way he hasn't been reaching out and talking to these, over these last few years, right? And Jeff Keighley seems, by all accounts, to be a nice guy, a pleasant guy to work with. So it's like if he's been asking and like reaching out, like let's do this. I think it's within the realm of possibility that somebody at Rockstar goes, you know what? All right, let's do it.
Yeah, they definitely don't need to, but
no,
it definitely would be interesting.
Yeah, the precedent is set for them to do it on their own. I just think now more than ever, now that we actually have this neutral kind of, because Game Awards is like, I mean, the past 5 years has really blown up. Before that, it wasn't really a thing. So now there is this neutral platform to kind of this celebration of games. So I think it's more possible than ever, but definitely, yes, it is entirely probable that they will do it on their own.
So I sent a tweet out, or not a Twitter DM to our group. December 6th, one day before the Game Awards. That's a Wednesday. Great time to do some Game Awards predictions, eh?
That's a fantastic time to do some Game Awards predictions.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to do it for our show. Let us know if you're excited for GTA 6, although we imagine most of you are. Glenn will probably play the story for like an hour and then go play online. Thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your pods. Thank you, Roshan, who is working. Thank you, me. Thank you, Gage. That's Daniel. And this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out.
Oh, much love and keep on gaming. I almost forgot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Dubai.